All right, good morning. It is a good Tuesday, cooking and learning with Karen with Chef Destiny and Chef Asya. Today is our Thanksgiving Day. We will be doing our recipes, 4 apiece. It's gonna be beautiful. We got the whole building smelling like Thanksgiving. Folks, we did a little jig earlier for the rest of y'all got on. Y'all hear the music. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I had to call and see where the rest of the class was at. So we hope y'all enjoy these recipes today. And we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today, like Destiny said, I'm going to be making 4 recipes. The first recipe I'm going to be making is a candied yam recipe. This is 100% my Grandma Dorothy's recipe, and I try to do it the way that she does it, so hopefully she's looking down and she's proud of me. So here we go. You're gonna start with some some sweet potatoes. I put mine in the oven. I bake them, not until they're tender, but at least a good 20 to 25 minutes in the oven. I feel like it makes it a little bit sweeter because you're roasting it in the oven as to boiling it, and it's just one step closer to delicious sweetness. So after you take it out the oven, let it cool. It's going to be very, very easy to peel instead of using a potato peeler when you start off with the raw product. And you just take the skin off. And I cut mine into nice sized chunks, okay? But it's whatever shape you want. I really don't pick a certain shape. I just cut it. Yes. So we're going to peel off the skin, okay? And after we peel off the skin, we have a pot on the stove. And it has melted butter in the pot. And we're going to make something similar to a roux, but not a roux. Let me explain. So first you will melt your butter. So we have our pot right here. First you melt your butter. And then you're going to add cinnamon. This is to your taste. I feel like when you put the cinnamon in first into the fat of the butter, it makes the flavor of the cinnamon much stronger, because remember in earlier classes we said when you toast spices or put them in a fat and let them bloom, the blooming process, it's going to make it very cinnamony. Okay, so we put I put our cinnamon in our butter. Like I said, the cinnamon is to taste. All right. Now once we have that going, you are going to add a little bit of flour. So I said it's not like a roux, but you need a little bit of flour because the sauce that we're creating to put on our candied yams, we want it to have a little bit of weight to it. So we're just going to add a little bit of flour, okay? And you know with the flour, you have to let the flour cook out. Even though we're not making a roux, you don't want that pasty, floury taste. So after that has cooked out, then we're going to add an orange juice water mixture. Now this may seem, oh, we put an orange juice in candy yams, but you're not even going to taste the orange juice. It's just the acid that's going to accent the flavor. It may sound weird, but it really is the key. So you add your orange juice, and then I have a mixture of brown sugar and white sugar. Now, if you want to totally use one or just brown sugar, that's fine. If you want to totally use white sugar, that's fine. But once again, I'm doing it the way my granny taught me. So you put I'm putting brown sugar in first. And even though we're making this for a video, in each stage, you want it to cook a little bit. So when I put my butter in there with the cinnamon, that's going to be about 2-3 minutes, even though I'm going a little fast now because we're making a video. When I did my flour, that's going to be like 2-3 minutes. When I add my brown sugar, that's going to be a good 5 minutes. It may even start to look like it may be making a caramel, but it's not going to, okay? With our orange juice and everything. At this point, it should be looking thick and lightly, a little bit of bubbles around the edges. At that point, I'm gonna add my white sugar, okay? Once again, this is to taste, all right? You will let this sauce cook on very, very low for a good, can y'all see that in the pot? You will let this sauce cook on low, even though this is a different type of eye. You let this sauce cook on low for a good 5 minutes, okay? After the sauce has cooked, you're gonna pour it onto your sweet potatoes that we peeled and cut. And you put them in a pan like so. Hope y'all can see that. You put them in a pan like so. You wrap it very, very tightly with aluminum foil. Put it in the oven about 350 to 360 degrees. I let mine cook for at least 45 minutes to an hour. Every 15 minutes or so, I'm going to baste the sweet potatoes. So I'm going to get that nice sauce, and I'm going to take my time and spread it all over all of the potatoes. I don't want any potato to not be covered in that sauce. Like I said, about every 10 to 15 minutes until my candy yams are done. And when they are done, let me show you the final product. And the flour, like I said, is gonna make the sauce really, really thicken up. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my Grandma Dorothy's candy yams. I'm gonna bring it to the front. So maybe y'all can see it a little bit better. Everybody see that? And it's really delicious.
Oh, yeah.
It's very candied. You can see the specks of cinnamon. I really wish you could smell it. It's really delicious. All righty, on to the next item that I will be making. I will be making Liberian greens. Liberia is a country in Africa. About 3 years ago, I had the pleasure of working at a West African restaurant named Nina's. It is on the east side of Atlanta off of Memorial Drive, and they have delicious African food, delicious West African food. And there's a lot of correlations between West African food and Southern food. We make our greens with maybe a little ham hock, a little turkey, etc. They make their greens the very same way. There's a couple of differences, but you really won't be able to tell the difference. Let me just put this tray up. Okay, so for this one, this is pretty much a one pot situation here. You would get you some green. Well, first, I have a smoked turkey neck. Turkey neck. All I did was put it in a pot of water. Make sure the water covered the smoked turkey wings and necks, and just let it boil. I let it boil for at least a good hour. When the water starts to reduce, I just add more water until the meat starts to fall off the bone. You want to keep that stock and that meat because that is what you're going to cook the greens in. Okay, so you'll put that stock with the smoked turkey neck, smoked turkey wings, whichever one you're choosing to use. You'll put your greens cleaned in the pot with that turkey stock along with the meat. You slice up some fresh onion, fresh garlic. Now, what makes this Liberian, and it may sound a little strange, this is a powder called a crayfish powder. They sell it at the African markets. If y'all look on the other camera, you can see it. It says crayfish. This is their form of salt. Okay, it's not going to taste fishy. It's not going to taste like seafood. but this is what they use for salt. Okay, now if you don't want to use it, that's absolutely fine. You can use your seasoned salt, you can use your regular salt, but it's gonna give a background taste that I really can't describe. But if I didn't tell you the crayfish powder was in the greens, I promise you, you would not know that it's in the greens. It is just their version of salt. So you'll put your turkey stock, your collard greens, your meat, fresh onion, fresh garlic, couple of teaspoons of this crayfish powder, let it cook. You're gonna let it cook a good 2 to 3 hours. What I've noticed with the Liberian greens is it's not a liquid in the pot. Like sometimes when we make our collard greens, there's a liquid in the pot. It's not dry, like it's a dry food, but it's just, when it's done cooking, you know it's done because there's no liquid at the bottom, if that makes any sense. But let me show it to you, plate it up. And it's really, really delicious. Really delicious. Can y'all see it from that point of view?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
We have our meat falling throughout the greens. This right here is a habanero pepper. I like it spicy, so I added a pepper.
Wow.
I like a lot of heat. Let me show it to you up close. And it's really delicious. And this is Liberian style greens. What's making it Liberian style, like I said, the crayfish powder, we substituted for salt because that is what they use for salt.
What was the name of the restaurant that you went to?
It's called Mina's. It's on Memorial Drive going towards the Stone Mountain Park.
Okay.
Memorial Drive.
Well, that's by you, Pam.
Yeah.
Very good restaurant. And a little tip, she does not open on time. I don't know if that's a Liberian thing, but if it says it opens at 4 o'clock, get there about 6 o'clock.
What? Oh, Lord.
But she's gonna treat you like family. I promise you.
Really?
She's gonna treat you like family. But it might be a cultural thing. It doesn't open on time.
Oh, my God.
Good try.
You'll starve to death, buddy.
All right. Let me just clean this up and go to the next recipe. All right, I am going to be making a seafood stuffing.
Ooh.
All right.
Hey, Destiny.
For this recipe, I'm going to make my own seafood stock. What you're going to need is, well, first, this recipe calls for celery. So when I dice my celery, the ends of the celery, the part that you might discard, the leafy part of the celery, we're gonna put that into a stock pot. So let's act like this is our stock pot, even though we use that for the candy yams. So the leaves, all that we're gonna put into our stock pot. I'm gonna put a bay leaf into our stock pot. I have fresh thyme into our stock pot. If you have peels of an onion, of course you want your onion to be clean. But like the scraps of an onion, the scraps of a carrot, you can put that into your stock pot because we're making our own seafood stock. I got this clam juice from the grocery store. Any type of seafood liquor, I'm gonna call it liquor, you can get. You're going to put this into your stock pot, okay? Because this seafood clam juice is gonna give us that rich seafood stock. I also am putting shrimp into my seafood stuffing. So when I bought my shrimp and I was peeling it, deveining it, cleaning it, I kept the shells, cleaned it of course. I kept the shrimp shells and I'm gonna put that into my stock. This is gonna make a very rich, flavorful stock for the seafood stuffing. Okay? And then you will just cover this with water, let it come to a simmer and just let it go. If you find it reducing a little bit too much, you can add a little bit of water. We're not adding salt because this is just a stock, okay?
Okay.
When it is finished, you're going to strain it with a strainer like I have here, and I have all my goodies that came out the pot, of course, strained, and it's going to produce a lovely stock. Okay. So you got your seafood stock set to the side. Then, okay, you're gonna need you some bread. The bread that I chose to use, you really can use any type of bread that you want to, because, you know, the bread I used was some croutons and some 2-3-day-old dinner rolls. Okay? So we just have some croutons in here. It'll be really good to boost the flavor, get you some flavored croutons, some garlic and herb or whatever flavor that you choose. You know, you break your bread up. So we have our stock set to the side. We have a mixture of croutons and our 2-3-day-old rolls set to the side. All right. You would saute a bell pepper. I prefer yellow, orange, or red. You would saute a bell pepper, some celery, and you need to dice this very small as you can get it, okay? So you're gonna saute in butter, a bell pepper, celery, and green onions, and fresh garlic. So you saute that in butter, you set that to the side. Now for the seafood, I took the same shrimp that I peeled and deveined. It was medium-sized shrimp. I cut them into as many pieces as I could, okay, because I wanted to make it stretch, but I also want seafood specks to be throughout the whole stuffing. I also used a can of lump crab meat.
Stop.
Regular lump crab meat that you can get from the store. I seasoned my lump crab meat and my shrimp with Old Bay seasoning. Just let that sit to the side.
Would you cut it out?
So now let's assemble our seafood stuffing. Now you want to grease a casserole dish, excuse me. You want to have a greased casserole dish waiting for you. Excuse me. So you can add your veggies to the bread mixture. And you do not want to cook your seafood at all. Excuse me. Okay. So you add all the veggies. Excuse me. And you're gonna lightly season this with some garlic powder, onion powder, whatever type of seasonings that you like. So the best utensils are your hands. So you wanna get in there and mix up your vegetables, your seafood, and your bread. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then you just add your seafood stock. I make mine very wet initially because you know the bread is gonna suck up all that stock. And it's also good to let it sit overnight, okay? That adds a lot of flavor too because it lets it just marinate and lets everybody get to know each other before they start cooking together. It helps if you get to know each other with food. And so it'll be nice, and I hope y'all can see that. It looks a little too wet, but when it sits overnight in the fridge, you're gonna see that it's going to dry out. And you put in the oven about 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees, and you're gonna have a delicious seafood stuff. Let me show you how those dressings do. And you're gonna see all the peppers and onions and the shrimp and the lump crab meat that's in there. And it's really delicious. I hope y'all can see that. But come closer so maybe I can see it better. So here goes the seafood stuffing. Very different, but very good. Okay, last but not least, we're making homemade cranberry sauce. Very simple as well. Let me get this out of y'all's way. Very simple for this. You're going to start off with raw cranberries. Of course, you're going to clean them. Okay? Y'all see in that other camera how those cranberries look if you haven't seen a raw cranberry.
Where'd you get from?
Food Depot.
Okay.
Food Depot. Around this time of the year, all of the grocery stores, I think, are selling them. Okay. You would get you a pot. Let's act like I have an imaginary pot here. Okay. So you get your pot. You're going to put everything in one pot. That's all you're going to do. And you're going to let it cook and you're going to walk away. It's very simple. You put your rinsed cranberries into a pot. You're going to use some orange juice. The tang and the acid of the orange juice really complements the sweet cranberry sauce. You're going to take the zest of an orange. Remember, when you're going to the zest, you want to stop at the white. You do not want to zest the white because when you cook it, it becomes bitter. Okay, so only the orange skin. So we have our cranberries, orange juice, orange zest, white sugar, and some cinnamon. When you put it all into the pot, you want the orange juice to lightly cover the cranberries. Put it on a simmer. When it reaches a simmer, turn it down low, and you're gonna let it cook for about a good 2 hours. And making sure that it's not sticking. If it's sticking, you can add a little bit splash of orange juice or a little bit splash of water. And you're also, gonna add a pinch of salt. I mean, literally a pinch of salt, because we know salt accentuates flavor. Something happens in the chemistry of everything and it does something to it. So you're gonna add a pinch of salt. And when you are done, you have delicious homemade cranberry sauce. Very simple, very colorful, very beautiful. And people are gonna be like, "Oh,
It look good, y'all."
I'm gonna show you how this looks. And it smells, you can smell the orange. I don't know if you can smell it, but you can smell
I like my cranberry sauce chunky.
So there you go. And I guess you could call this a relish. This is not like she said, this is the jelly one. I mean, the chunky one, excuse me. Let me show it to you up close. And it's very beautiful.
Yes.
Your homemade cranberry sauce.
Okay.
All righty.
Good job.
Yes.
Are there any questions? I hope I wasn't too fast. Are there any questions about the recipes I made?
The candied yams, how much butter did you use?
Okay, y'all, it's Thanksgiving. So I used about, my granny was putting the butter in there. I used a good 3 strong sticks, maybe even 4 sticks of butter. I hate to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Let your flour cook out when you're mixing your cinnamon and the butter.
Yes,
Let the
ma'am.
flour cook out. You have the flour just cook so you won't see it. Is that what you mean? Let it cook out.
Yes, just stir it so it doesn't burn. Let it cook out so it doesn't have a pasty taste when you make this sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
All right.
flour uncooked tastes weird if you've never tasted it, especially in a sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, you can taste it. Good
Sounds good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And excuse me, I have another question about the Liberian greens.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
place where we can get that you said that crawfish powder, is that you say African market?
African market or like a farmer's market. I live in DeKalb County. I know we have one off of Ponce called, the DeKalb County Farmer's Market. So an international farmer's market would have it, or specifically an African market would have it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That sounds good.
I'm sorry. What can I do?
They would like
Yeah. I'm just gonna get started. What you want?
Thank you, Aja.
Oh, you're welcome.
What Destiny cooking, Pam?
Fixing to see. Don't you tell her nothing.
What?
Don't tell. You gotta stay tuned to see.
You fixing to see.
You don't even know who this is.
Aunt Dolly. I'm finna bring the star of the show in the picture.
Oh,
Turkey. Look at
that
it.
looks good.
Oh, wow. You gonna put the stuffing in that?
This already done, baby.
Oh.
I'm just gonna tell y'all what it is. So I do got the little frillies on the legs. Y'all can see that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Golden brown. Let me see who can guess how long I cooked this.
What size is it?
It's about a 12 to 15.
2 hours.
3.
I'm gonna say 4.
Oh,
4.
wow.
This turkey cooked on 200 for 16 hours.
Oh.
What?
You didn't know 200.
Child, I be done forgot about that.
So what I did was when I got here yesterday, I seasoned her up, I rubbed it down. I injected her with, y'all can see this seasoning right here.
Yeah.
Oh, the saturated. I inject. Whose TV is that?
I got to sign back in, but she's like, "What is taking lunch going home? Working
Look at this.
Scared the crap out of me. That's a reality check. I'm talking about. He came in 5 minutes after me.
Whose phone is that? Can you
Not
mute
mine.
yourself? Mute yourself.
I
I don't even know whose voice that is. Anyway, we're gonna move right on. So I injected her with this Tony Satchery. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute everybody because I don't know who that is.
Oh, Grandpa.
This is in the back.
Grandpa, they
Thank you, Lord. Like I said, I injected her with the Satcheries, rubbed her down. So for the, oh, if they hear me, I'm mute up there.
Up where?
That
Oh, they can hear you.
y'all can hear me, right? All right, cool. So for the stuffing for the turkey, we are doing stuffing and then we're doing dressing. Stuffing is going into the turkey. So for the stuffing, you need to crumble you up some Hawaiian rolls and croutons. This is the base of my stuffing, Hawaiian rolls and croutons. Next, you're gonna add some a can of cranberry sauce, 1 cup of craisins. You will add some fresh sage. Let me tell y'all, fresh sage is so much better than the ground up sage. It just brings a more stronger flavor. Everybody else who wasn't interrupting the show, y'all can unmute yourself. But I don't know, I don't know who that person was. But everybody else, y'all can unmute yourself. So I use fresh sage. I use craisin. I use some chicken stock and cream of chicken and a little celery seed and salt and pepper. So when you get done, your stuffing is gonna look like this.
Okay.
Now, anybody know the difference between stuffing and dressing?
Stuffing, you stuff in the turkey. Dressing, you eat outside of the turkey with the cranberry sauce.
Yeah, or you can say it's a black and white thing because our Caucasian brothers and sisters, they eat stuffing.
Biscuit people.
And I love my Caucasian brothers and sisters, but I'm just saying, some of them don't know the difference between stuffing and dressing. So I stuffed her with that dressing, that stuffing, and I put her in the oven on 200 for 16 hours. I didn't take her till I got back today.
Now, why did you do that?
Wow.
Well, because it was past my time for work and I couldn't stay here the whole time it was cooking. Plus, I wanted my breast. Oh, another thing, I cooked her breast side down.
Okay.
Okay.
So my breast, not my breast, but her breast
Right.
can be tender.
Boy.
A lot of people don't know how to make their turkey breast tender. So I cooked her turkey breast down.
Okay, so you did it. It was basically a mainly for time for you.
Right,
That's why you
right,
did it. Okay.
Right. You don't have to cook yours that long, but baby, believe you me, this thing
Girl,
is falling off the bone.
You know I ain't cooking nothing. I'm just going by you.
Okay, so
All
after
the juices
I
in the
got here,
backbone.
after the 16th hour I got here, I flipped her over very carefully and I rubbed her with butter, put her back in the oven so she could get this beautiful golden brown color y'all see on her.
Okay.
And then Miss Kim made my Fritos for me. Y'all know Kim. But it's very easy. You just cut little slits in paper, cut it in half, curl it with your finger or some scissors, and that go right on there. And that's just for aesthetics, just for looks.
Chef, how many pounds was your turkey?
This is between 12 and 15 pound turkey. But like I said, say like you doing all your other ingredients, you got all your other side dishes and all that to make. Start the day before, put this baby on low, on 200 and let her go. The next day she'll be perfectly ready. Now, mind you, I was a little bit worried kind of all night, but I said, well, I ain't getting no call from Miss Terrell saying the building burned down. So I guess she all right. So we gonna just move the star of the show over here with her side dishes that we got so far.
All right.
Now, you will take some day-old cornbread. Now, y'all know it's been since March since I've been cooking for 200 plus. So, and you know, my family know I can hardly cook a little bit.
Right. Yep.
So I had to remember my cornbread recipe yesterday, which I did. It come back to you like that. So I did my cornbread recipe. You're gonna crumble up your cornbread, put that in your bowl. You're gonna take you a mirepoix. Now, what's a mirepoix? I done taught y'all. Somebody.
Celery and the bell
Onions.
Celery, onions, and carrots. Okay. So you took celery, onions, carrots, bell peppers, onion, jalapenos, and garlic. Sauteed it. Threw that in with my crumbled up cornbread. Then what I did, all them juices, what we gonna name her?
Sweetie pie.
Destiny.
No, I don't want to be a turkey. Destiny the turkey.
Turkeisha.
You know, Sharkeisha. All right. So all the juices from Turkeisha at the bottom of the pan this morning, I took those juices and I added them to my cornbread dressing.
Oh.
You're also going to add cream of chicken, some more of that fresh sage, some celery salt, some black pepper, any other seasoning you want. You're going to add some eggs, of course. I'm going to add the rest of this in here and mix it up. But of course, I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Cream of chicken. I love these cans with the pop top. So you do not have to be using a can opener.
Yeah.
They should make all the cans like that.
And just like I just said, it is best to use your hands.
Oh.
Mix this up. Aja, will you bring that camera over here and do a close up? Also, an extra bonus. I bought a rotisserie chicken. Y'all know that good rotisserie chicken from Walmart in the bag. Yeah. I took that, chopped it all up, tossed it right in here. Now, you can use that, or you can use smoked turkey, whatever meat you want to use. I like meat in my dressing. So if y'all can see how this, and just like she said, it can be a little bit wet looking because once it's cooked, it's gonna incorporate all together. So in here, I have all the ingredients I told you, plus that chicken meat. You have to use that turkey juice from Turkisha. So you could get
Destiny,
that. Yes, ma'am.
you didn't put the whole chicken in there, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, really? Okay.
That could be a
All
meal
right,
in
sorry.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cranberry sauce.
Thanksgiving, I told y'all, we've been all be eating 4,500 calories. So we're gonna pan this up, pour some butter on top, and let it bake 30, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna do some what I like to call, what people have called my macaroni and cheese. They call it cheese and macaroni.
Yep.
So y'all,
Exactly what it is.
thank you. Moving on to our next recipe. So we did my first two was Miss Turkisha, the stuffing, and the dressing. So that was 3. Now I guess I'm giving you 5 today. So, for my macaroni and cheese, everybody swear they have the best macaroni and cheese. I don't know if mine the best is just good. I got my elbow noodles. Now, if you want to use shells, I like using shells too, because of the way the shells are shaped, they will trap cheese right up in them shells.
Oh, yeah.
My noodles here, and you can be fancy and make a cheese sauce on the stove if you want, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Cheese. So what I did was, I took my carnation milk, a can, and then about a half a cup of regular milk, and I put it in my steamer. Of course, you don't have a steamer, so you will use your stove. I let it heat up. I added, yes, this much cheese. This block of cheese, Velveeta cheese. So I'm just gonna put all this in here. First, I want to season my noodles because that way the seasoning will stick. So I'm using a little black pepper, a little seasoned salt, and you don't have to do this, but I like to take a little bit of the bitter from the cheese out and just use a little sugar, just a little. And of course, some butter. And this is gonna make this size pan of macaroni and cheese. This was just one box, a regular box of macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So this is sliced American cheese. Yes, I'm using all of it. I told y'all I'm making cheese and macaroni, not macaroni and cheese.
I've heard of some I know did use the canned cream of cheese, Campbell's cream of cheese.
Oh, you talking about that soup?
Yeah.
That sounds like some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters recipe right there. And
biscuit people.
Okay. Stop. Next, I like sour cream in my macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
And for one box, I'll probably use just a cup. That's about a cup. Also, a little splash of hot sauce.
Okay.
And then my melted cheese, because all this cheese I poured in here, you would have poured that into your hot milk. Whip that up, let it melt. And this is how it's going to look when it's coming out.
Wow.
My Lord. Asya, if you don't mind, if you could. Cranberry spoon? I'm going to have Asya stir this up for y'all. Also can add cream cheese if you want it super creamy cheesy. One thing that I didn't add, did anybody notice? Do anybody, oh, and I got this pepper jack cheddar mixed blend. I'm gonna add this in there too. I told y'all, cheese and macaroni. You're gonna save a bag of cheese so you can sprinkle on the top after it's all done. Okay, did anybody figure out what I didn't add to my macaroni and cheese?
Egg.
Milk.
Egg. I use milk. I use carnation evaporated milk.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I didn't use an egg.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to use an egg for your macaroni and cheese. If you want that coagulation, the extra coagulation, you can use an egg. But if you want it more creamier, like I like it, I don't use any egg. And after it comes out the oven and sit, it's gonna look the same as if you had used an egg. Once Asya get through stirring that up, she's gonna show y'all what that's looking like, and then I'm gonna show you. But this was our turkey. Going back a little bit, that was the juice from Turkisha that you put in that cornbread dressing. Like Asya said, it will be a little loose, but you ain't doing nothing wrong. Once you put that in the oven and cook it, it's gonna set right up. Show them up close. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like after you mix all that good cheese and macaroni. Hope y'all can see that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't claim to have the best macaroni and cheese. It's the best to me, but it's delicious. What is that other pan there? So here's what our cornbread dressing looks like when it is done. Everybody can see that?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now let's see that macaroni. Cheese and macaroni.
Mmm.
What it looks like up close.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna scoop out some of that good dressing. Oh, and all that chicken chunks is up in there.
Oh,
And your gravy. I took half of Turkisha's juice, put it in the pot. You really don't have to add nothing else, but I like to cheat a little bit. I get one of them turkey packs of gravy from the store. I add that to my Turkisha's juices. Stir that up to thicken, boom, you got your gravy. Great. So on the plate right now, we got that good cornbread dressing with that rotisserie meat in there. And our cheese and macaroni. You see how that seized up just like it would if you had egg in it. But
Right.
the center of it is gonna stay creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at your gravy. Gravy! I know I didn't forget the gravy.
Miss Betty, do you miss being on the line this year? Miss Betty. I don't miss.
Miss Betty, unmute yourself. So I'm gonna pour that gravy right on.
Okay, I thought I was unmuted.
Do you
No,
miss
I don't.
No, me either.
Y'all see me eating gravy?
Yes.
Especially to that gravy.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I miss.
We don't
I
have to
miss
count
y'all
any
being
sides
online.
either.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you ever worked on the serving line, it's
It's not.
Taro.
It's not.
Help us, Lord.
It's first of all, it's like 1,000 degrees behind there because you got the steam coming from the tables. You also have a heat lamp to keep the food warm once we set it up there to give to the people.
Oh.
It's a whole experience. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Because you will not know.
Yes, it will.
I mean, other people, they act like they forgot who you was. When you get back there on that line, the customer, they be totally a different person. And I'm talking about, it can get very aggressive when it comes to that food. Chicken day, fish day, or anything with gravy. Oh, it can go down. They can even get the bickering in line with each other, honey. But it's an experience. You really have to have great customer service. And I don't care if you went to the training where they train Chick-fil-A folk at. Some of the tubes you gonna get received daily in that line about a biscuit or about some gravy. It's gonna change your life, I'm telling you. It make me so humble. People don't believe me. They don't believe how hard it is to work behind that line until they get behind that line. And
that's why I'm a dog groomer.
Good job. So last but not least, our delicious desserts.
Ooh.
So we are making no-bake pumpkin cheesecake muffin.
Right.
Wow.
And I know a lot of y'all don't like pumpkin, but you will like this.
I'll sample it.
Me too.
Thank you.
Because I don't like pumpkin.
What you need first is 2 boxes of cream cheese. You're gonna add this to your mixer. And you wanna whip it until it's nice and fluffy. You, of course, will have to scrape the sides down. Get all that good cream cheese off of there. You will need 1 can of 100% pumpkin. I have organic 100% pumpkin. Get that in there. And we're gonna whip that. Anybody got any questions about any other recipes so far?
I have.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you when you did the turkey, it was uncovered, right?
No,
you
ma'am.
baked the
I
turkey
covered it in foil.
in foil? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Because it was gonna be cooking for 16 hours, so
right.
You don't want it to get burned, but not that it will on that low temperature, but you want that foil to you want that foil to lock all that moisture in your turkey.
Okay.
It's not worse than a dry turkey. And that's why I say make sure, if you can, cook your turkey breast side down till it's almost done. You only got 5 minutes left. Flip it back over. Rub it with butter and some seasoning. Put it back in the oven so it gets that golden color. So we're gonna fluff this up real quick. Right, so. Okay, now I'm going to add to the 2 boxes of cream cheese the can of pumpkin puree. And this is so simple. And it's not a heavy dessert after you done ate all that 4,500 calories of heavy food. And you're gonna need 1 can of sweet condensed milk. And we're gonna make sure this is mixed up good first. We're gonna scrape down my side so everything gets incorporated good. All right. Okay.
You said you injected the turkey with what, Tony's Creole seasoning?
What happened?
Huh?
What'd you say?
You injected the turkey with Tony's Creole?
Yeah, I injected it with roasted garlic and herb, Tony Satcheries.
You used the whole thing?
Where is that?
I used the whole thing.
Is that where the powdered seasoning box is?
This was in the section with marinades.
Okay.
Where marinades at in the grocery store, that's where this was. And it had it came with the injection needle.
What's the sodium? Because I saw it, but I just kept going because I figured it would have a lot. What is it?
It's only 8%.
Oh, okay. I might have to pick it up now.
I just wanted a different flavor for my turkey this year other than just the regular. They had a jerk one and all of that. Like you can really do what you want. Can you try to lift this up right? I'm trying to see inside. So this is what it should be looking like.
Okay.
I don't see that.
I don't either.
Oh, now.
Look into the Destiny camera.
If you don't see it, scroll it to the right, and you'll be able to see an up close picture.
Okay, now we're gonna add. Now the recipe calls for pumpkin spice. I don't know who is out here making all pumpkin recipes. I couldn't find no pumpkin spice because the aisle was empty. So I made my own spice. I got cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice in here. Okay. I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of that. A little vanilla extract. We'll mix that up. And our sweet condensed milk is going in. I like to pour it in while it's still mixing.
Okay.
And all of it. And this is the only sugar that you're using is the sweet condensed milk. Now I need to scrape the sides down again. It smells so good in here, y'all. I'm gonna scrape these sides down so that everything can get incorporated. And while that's mixing, we'll talk about the crusts. Let that keep mixing. Now, the last thing you're gonna add to this is whipped cream. Now you can make your own, or you can buy it, or you can get Cool Whip. Add about a cup and a half. Looking really good. Now, just for a bonus, I wanted some walnuts and chocolate chips in mine. So, I'm gonna add some, and this is optional. You don't have to add nuts and chocolate. You can eat it just like it is. I got
deconstruction.
some Hershey's chocolate chips. So y'all can see how that's looking now. You see what that Cool Whip did? Fluffed it up again. And that's basically it for the filling. That is all for the filling. Now, for the crust, I saw at the store, Pillsbury sold a pumpkin and white chocolate cookies. So I bought them.
Pumpkin and white chocolate cookies.
Yes, I'm supposing they were out because of the season, because I've never seen them before. But I bought them, and I used those for my base for my muffin.
Oh.
So, yeah, I baked the cookie. They came out about that big. I took a cookie cutter the size of my muffin cups, and I placed that at the bottom. Oh, but I had leftover cookie pieces from wringing out those cookies. So what I did was I don't waste anything.
Oh, you talking about the cookie dough? Cookie dough.
Yeah, it was cookie dough.
Okay.
And I made them. It was pumpkin and white chocolate cookie dough.
Oh, wow.
So with the rest of the crumbles I had left over, I'm just gonna use that for the rest of the crust because there were only 12 cookies in there. So I got those in those. So this is what it looks like crunched up. Y'all see that, the cookie?
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have to add butter or sugar to these because it's already a cookie. All I did was chop it up. And I'm gonna put these in the bottom.
So Chef, would you use graham crackers if you didn't have that, or what would you?
Yeah, if you don't have if I didn't have these cookies, I would have been using vanilla wafers or Lorna Doones.
Okay.
Lorna Doone cookies are good for crust.
Yeah.
You got all that. You can use the basic graham cracker, but we ain't basic. So we gonna use these kind of cookies for some
We ain't basic.
No, she basic.
or some or vanilla wafers or Lorna Doones will work just fine. So I'm putting these all in the bottom for our crust. It smells so good, looks so pretty. And what you would need to do if you want to smash that down in there, I'm just going to use my fingers, but you can take another small measuring cup and just mash it down in there and it'll mash it just the same. And like I said, because these are already cookies, you don't need to add butter and sugar like you would just with if you just had graham crackers to make your crust with. All right, we all mashed in. I'll let y'all see that up close. Now I took my pumpkin cheesecake filling and put it in a piping bag. You don't have to, whatever you can use, a spoon or whatever. So we're gonna pipe this in here.
Can you get a camera?
Now everybody can see once I piped them in there. And then I just took some chocolate. Rub some butter on turkey shit. Took some chocolate, melted it just with some heavy whipping cream. And I'm gonna drizzle that on the tops of these. Now you don't have to use chocolate if you don't want to. I like chocolate. And you will freeze these. Now the recipe says you freeze it overnight. Only freeze it for about an hour. And they came out perfectly fine. So y'all can see.
Wow.
But I'm gonna go a step further. Since I got some crust left. Now these were the ones that I already froze. Since I got some crust left, I'm gonna sprinkle some right on top. I'm gonna just do a little different decoration. Put some whipped cream on some.
You're hurting me.
I know, I'm so sorry.
He's not sorry.
She's showing.
She get Asya up there to taste it.
Okay, so I did a little bit of different decoration, whipped cream with the rest of the crumbled cookies, or just crumbled cookies.
That's pretty.
I'm gonna take them out of here. And they are ready to go. I had them in the freezer. They've been in here for a little while, thawing out.
So do you have to keep them refrigerated, or do you put them back in the freezer, or what?
You can, after you froze them, you can just put them back in the refrigerator. Long as they stay good and chilled. So
you're supposed to eat them cold.
Once you freeze them, then take the wrapper off.
Okay.
Freeze them. Once they're solid, take the wrapper off, tray them up, or you can leave the paper on. They'll just have to eat it off the paper. That's up to you. I can see that up close on the up close camera.
But they're supposed to be eaten cold.
Yes.
Okay.
This is no bake, so it's not going to hold up like a baked cheesecake. That's why you need to freeze them and then keep them cold.
Okay.
Yes. Now that is all of my recipes. I gave you turkeycha. I gave you stuffing. I gave you cornbread dressing. I gave you cheese and macaroni.
Pam, you need to make a trip.
I gave you. That's gonna go. She gonna go down the line. Y'all look in the Destiny camera so y'all can see. She going
nice.
Down. What all we made for y'all today.
Good job, ladies.
Yeah. Woo!
So, seafood stuffing, candy yams from her grandma.
Yeah.
Greens, which I've never had, but they look really delicious.
I gotta find that restaurant.
I hope y'all enjoy all these recipes. And just like I said, if your turkey looking a little dry before you set it out, all I did was melt some butter, some of that garlic butter, and I just bathed turkeycha on down again.
Turkeycha, you looking good, girl.
That's right.
I hope y'all enjoy all these recipes today. It has been
yes.
I've been so excited to make all these desserts. Me and Asya worked all day yesterday.
Good job, y'all.
To prep.
Hey, Destiny. Okay, you said to freeze the desserts, but do you have to freeze them? Can you just put them in the refrigerator for a long time?
If you're gonna put them in the refrigerator, it needs to be 24 hours.
Okay.
The freezer is only gonna seize it up like you need it to seize up at first.
Okay.
Take the wrapper off. This is not a dessert that you could just leave on the table like sweet potato pie.
Right. Okay.
This is something that when you take it out the freezer or the refrigerator, you need to eat it.
Start eating it. Okay. Okay.
I need the recipe, Chef. I think I've been talking myself out of baking. I don't want to bake a cake. I don't.
I got you. I got extra fillings, so you just take you a piping bag of this filling.
Okay, because I really do not want to bake a cake.
You got it. You can have this extra filling. I don't know if we're gonna eat all this. With me, I just gonna try.
That's why I said Pam need to take a trip.
So we gonna try. But like I said, for announcement, don't forget Thursday on Thanksgiving. We calling in to Miss
Buffy's
class, so everybody can greet each other for Thanksgiving and share a couple laughs or what have you. And we will be closed, no class tomorrow, Thursday or Friday for the holiday. Also, I'm going on vacation. They didn't cancel the flight, so I will be going home. Yay.
That's good.
So don't forget to, because I won't be back till December 7th, don't forget to please keep coming on class, because Asya is going to take care of y'all in my absence. She got to do at least 20 to 30 minutes, so y'all bear with her.
Okay.
She did a great, fabulous job. She always does.
Yeah.
But I want y'all to definitely support her while I'm out. I said I'll try to jump in and out as I can while I'm on vacation, but just to check on y'all or whatever. But make sure y'all do that. Also, we have the tree lighting program coming up, the ugly sweater program coming up. Keep checking your emails. I showed y'all the beautiful flyers that Miss Terrell, Miss Sparkman put together. I showed y'all those flyers yesterday. And if there are no more questions, I want y'all to enjoy y'all holiday. If you got to see your family on Zoom or through the porch, so be it. For us to stay safe. Because you believe me, I'm going to be wrapped up. I'm going to be wrapped up like a present when I go to that airport.
You have gloves and stuff, right?
I got gloves, I got mask, I got a face shield, I got sanitizer, I got a garbage bag, I got a cover. I'm ready.
You got a garbage
No
bag.
suit on.
I'm ready. I'm ready. And I hope there is nobody on my flight trying not to wear a mask or causing some riffraff.
Hey, TT, come on in.
But I really enjoyed this class. I'm glad we had a lot of people in here today. I was fussing at first. I had to call folk and see where they was at.
Right. Right.
But we sure appreciate y'all. I hope y'all really enjoyed these recipes and think about it when you at home eating your recipes. I'm sure y'all have started by now if you haven't on your Thanksgiving. And if there are no more questions, since it's Thanksgiving, we won't be here on Thursday. It's Miss Cheryl's birthday on Thanksgiving.
Happy
Birthday, Cheryl.
And can we just do a couple people on what they're thankful for today? Anybody can go. Anybody?
I want to go. I'm
ahead.
thankful for the best team of folks in Fulton County, the Darnell team. And I am thankful for every senior that supports us. So we appreciate you all.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I'm thankful that I'm breathing.
Amen.
No, that's right.
Yes.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Did y'all hear Buffy?
What she said?
Come on around here so she can say it. She gonna say it again.
I am thankful that that man at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is finna go.
All right.
Yes. Anybody else?
I'm thankful that I made it in, even though it was on the last part of it, and I appreciate all of the Darnell staff.
We appreciate you, Miss Betty. We couldn't do it without you. Love you so much. And there go Frack. Frick was at the doctor's office. I found her. And Frack, I had to get her. She on here. Hey, Miss Peggy. Mr. Stacy, I love all of y'all. Let me say what you want to go what you thankful for? Asya, go ahead.
I'm thankful to have a job, a good job, supportive people. And I'm also thankful for the health of my kids, my beautiful 6 kids. I'm happy that they're healthy, especially in the midst of this crazy time we got going on in this world. I'm just thankful for a good peace of mind, a good right mind, and a good body that get up and every single day allow me to do what I got to do for my kids every day.
Amen. Amen.
That's all right.
Looks like when you said 6. Yeah, she got 6, and she know how to take care of them. She that kind of mama where she can just look at them and they be quiet.
That's how it's supposed to be.
But I'm thankful that I'm getting to go home. It's been over a year. Although I talk to my mother and sister and niece every day, and we on Zoom and all of that. But who can go grab my phone and show them something funny? I'm thankful to be going home. Thankful that I hope I'm just asking everybody to pray for me because Ohio numbers, I don't know what they out there doing. They just out there coughing on each other, I guess. I don't know. Their numbers going up every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show y'all something funny. I told y'all yesterday, me and my sister did Zoom with my dad for the first time. And if everybody don't know, I look just like my dad, my sister looked just like my mother. So when we were on the Zoom, my sister said, and my dad gonna kill me, y'all don't tell me. My sister said, y'all look just alike. And I said, yeah, I know, I heard all my life. Then next thing I know, my dad goes and grabs one of his wife's wig and the glasses. And if y'all look into the camera.
Wait, what? Oh, look at Kenny. Oh.
So that's my dad. Wait, let me, the light ain't on. Let me turn the light up for y'all. Right. Okay.
No, he didn't.
I'll see. Okay, so this is my dad right here with the wig and the glasses.
Kenny looked like Tyler Perry.
That's my sister. But we did look so much alike. I was crying laughing. Yeah. But that was just so funny.
That's cute.
Wow.
Oh, Jackson Memorial's up the street doing another food drive with Thanksgiving stuff. Y'all gonna get up there because them lines be long. But they have been giving away free stuff like twice a month now since Corona been out. But it's Thanksgiving stuff today. Jackson Memorial up the street. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Have a happy, blessed
Love you.
Thanksgiving. See y'all when I get back.
Next week.
Aja, love y'all. Be safe out there.
All right.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.